Hey guys, okay, so I want to share something with you because it helps me a lot, and I like being upfront and quite honest about stuff because it just really helps me. And as you know, some of you know that my cancer is back, my myeloma is back, and I'm back on chemotherapy. Started last week. So so I have quite a rare blood cancer called multiple myeloma, right? Now it's incurable, you can't cure it, they just try and get you in remission. The docs try and get you in remission, keep you there for as long as possible. So this is my third bout of myeloma. Started in 2013, I had it in one spot, which was in C1 vertebra, right in my neck. Long story, but it basically broke my neck in the end. I had multiple fractures in C1, blah blah blah. Anyway, had a load of radiotherapy to that, and that fused my neck. I did load of physio and stuff, got me moving again. And then 18 months later, I had the full-blown myeloma, like 2016. So I had to have 4 cycles of chemo and a stem cell transplant on the top of that. Which I got through. I handled it really well, got through it, and was in remission, all good. And now it's back again. So I was in remission like 2.5 years, and now it's back, which is a real arse. They see 2.5 years as a success. I don't, because I was thinking like remission for 10 years, which does happen to some people, but not with me. So so anyway, so 2.5 years. So I actually knew like 2 months ago, like end of August, that I had it, but they wanted me to have these certain tests, which they messed up. I won't go into it. For example, they wanted a biopsy of one of the sites, one of the tumours on my spine. They biopsied the wrong site. I had to wait like 6 weeks for it, and then they biopsied the wrong site. Anyway, let's not go into that because that's too annoying. Anyway, so those last 2 months has been fairly difficult because I knew I had chemotherapy and a stem cell coming up, but I had to wait while all the boxes were ticked and everything was booked in, and that can be frustrating and a real challenge, like mindset wise, for sure. It did really affect me, but anyway, so my brief history of myeloma. So what am I going to do this time? Look, last time I handled stuff really well. I got through it. Well, as hard as it is, I got through it and handled it really well. So this time I'm just going to document it a lot more with what I do during like the activity I take, what I eat, what I drink, what I do for mindset, because there's a lot of fear around chemotherapy and cancer. God, it is scary for sure, but like it's going to affect 50% of us, so it's really important that we get it all out there, right, and we see how we can handle it. It's basically, there's a lot of things you can't control in it, but you can control things like what you do every day, your fitness levels, what you eat, what you drink, how you sleep, your general lifestyle, your stress levels. All those things, all those things are going to help you in your journey, in your chemo journey, because we are told, the doctors tell you, oh yeah, if you're on chemotherapy, just rest, don't do anything. Well, that's probably like the worst thing that you can advise someone, to be honest. And actually, this is following on from a podcast, a recent podcast I listened to, Ben Coomer's podcast on what was it called? Can Exercise Cure Cancer? And they interviewed a lady called Anne Campbell, MBE, who's done loads of research, of really top quality research over the last 15-20 years, and it proves beyond doubt that we should, when we're undergoing chemotherapy or we are fighting cancer in some way, we should have an exercise program to go along with it, without doubt. The evidence is outstanding for it. For example, there was one guy who had very bad pancreatic cancer, very like last stages of it. They couldn't really do anything else for him. He was just on chemotherapy. So they gave him an exercise program. when he had his infusion of chemo, they actually had him on an exercise bike exercising, which meant the chemo was getting to all the right places. So when he went back in for to see what had happened, his tumour had shrunk so much that he could actually have surgery on it, and now he's recovering. That is amazing, and that is down to exercise. So we should all be doing it. Check out the podcast, Ben Coomer's podcast. Check out Ben Coomer Radio. It's the top health and fitness podcast in the UK. It's awesome. And check out Anna Campbell, or her work on things. So if you know anyone who's undergoing, who's just been diagnosed as cancer, who's recovering from cancer, send them that way, because it's super interesting. So so what am I going to do? I am going to just basically document what I do day to day, like my exercise level, how I eat, how I sleep, what I do for mindset, all that stuff. I'm just going to put it on my stories. I'm going to write a blog about it. Just put it out there. Why am I doing it? Why should I bother doing it? Because it's good for my mindset. It keeps my head in the game for sure. Because it's very easy when you have something like this to just go, oh well, I can't be asked. I can't be bothered. Put on Netflix and just like not easy to go into depression, easy to just like give up basically. And I know a lot of people do that, but you know what, I want to live life as well as I can and as best I can. And I run a successful training studio. I've got coaching clients that I coach. I've got family, I've got a daughter. I want to live a life well. So if I fall off the bike, what's going to happen? So you can't let that happen. Very easy to. So it's kind of a way of like keeping my head in the game for sure. And also, hopefully, it will help and motivate others who are going through something similar. Because when I went through it first time, I was scared. I mean, I am now, but you never know what's going to happen. But even more scared the first time around because I don't know what's happening. This time, I'm still scared because I know what's coming, right? But there we go. So hopefully it'll help motivate, inspire others, and also, doctors, the cancer doctors, they don't give any like lifestyle advice. They don't tell you what to eat. They don't even talk about exercise. They don't talk about anything like that. So it's just a good way of just getting it out. Like, I'm no real expert, but I've been through it a few times, so and I've learned from last time, so hopefully that's going to help. And help inspire people who aren't exercising, because let's face it, it's probably most of the UK who aren't doing anything, and most people get into exercise just because they want to lose their bit of fat or their big tummy or whatever. And it's so much more about that. It's great for mental health. It's you just want to live longer and live better. So that's what you should be doing. So there you go. So that's what I'm doing. From chemo. Started last week. And so I'm just going to document it. I'm going to keep posting my stories and write some blogs and stuff. So So if you do know anyone who is undergoing cancer treatment at the moment, or has a diagnosis or recovering, share it to their page, or let them know about it, or tag them in it. That'd be super cool because it might help them. Cool, guys. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. See you soon.